Hello and welcome to Travel Beans. I'm Emma, behind the camera is Alex, and today is a very special day and one that we have been looking forward to for quite some time because we are going to be heading off on a 2-week road trip adventure across the southwest of America. Our road trip series begins in Orange County, California, where we have been visiting old friends. Over the next couple of weeks, we will be heading east, slowly making our way through some of the beautiful southwest states of America: California, Nevada, Utah, Arizona, and New Mexico, before heading back to California in time for our first ever Thanksgiving. Throughout this trip, we will be sharing with you the highs and lows of our first real van life experience. We didn't even do any twosies in there. Some of the fantastic national parks and nature spots the US has to offer.
It's the delicate view that he's just crossing again as I'm saying that. There's a stag crossing the river.
As well as the inevitable observations and comparisons between the US and UK.
In England we have these things called food regulations which we follow. And corn syrup doesn't get into our food regulations, so when we have Coke, we always have Mexican Coke, but we just call it Coke.
So grab yourself a watered down beer and deep fried snack and join us on our US road trip adventure. Welcome to our home. Let me show you all around. This is the entranceway, and as you come through, this is our shower and toilet situation. So we have a toilet here which all you have to do is basically put some special chemicals in when you fill up the water tank and use special RV safe toilet paper, and you can use that whenever you need to. The sink is really interesting actually because it also pulls out and doubles up at the shower up there.
And I'm all about efficiency, so I can be using that and that
at the same time. There's also a curtain there for a bit of privacy. Next up we have our kitchen space. So here we have a double ringed hob, or a stove I believe as they call it over here, which is run on propane gas, so we'll be able to cook up our dinner in the van, which is super handy. We also have our sink here, which we can use for washing up, and some storage racks as well as drawers for all of our utensils and cutlery. There's our bin for our rubbish, and then just behind me we have the microwave, and we also have a fridge freezer, which I think is actually a really good size. I'm quite impressed by that. I expected it to be a really small one. Above me you have a ceiling vent to ventilate some air around, and we also have an air conditioning and heating system up here too. So in the back here, this is our sleeping quarters. So during the day you can have the seats upright like this, or you push a button and this back section goes flat all automatically. You don't have to do any heavy lifting yourself, and then these cushions all kind of go down and it creates one big double bed. So I'm really excited for tonight. It'll be our first night in the van and our first night sleeping here. There's also a ton of storage up here, so we've got lots of space for our clothes, our camera equipment, all that kind of stuff. But first things first, we have a very empty fridge and cupboards, so let's head to a supermarket and get filled up.
We've got our haul, and it's always exciting to go to supermarkets in different countries, and there's a few things I want to show you. But firstly, this is just my treat for going to the supermarket, and it's just some spicy chicken tenders. So
when we're in the UK, you usually go for a Scotch egg, but this time we've gone for chicken.
So that's my savoury treat. And then later, when we're driving, I've also got a treat of milk duds.
Oh, I didn't see you sneak those in.
I snuck them in at the bottom. These are great. And a real workout for your mouth. Last time I came to America, I got addicted to these. This is something that Emma's snuck in though. This is her milk duds equivalent.
Yeah.
And it's just disgusting looking cheese.
That is the meal of my childhood. When I grew up, my mum used to make me this occasionally, and it's that kind of fake mac and cheese rather than the real mac and cheese, but I like it, and I think it's better than the Kraft one, from what I can remember.
Look at the colour. Nah. We've also got this shake and pour, which is like pancake powder basically,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, you just add water to it and it saves you from having to make it from scratch.
then we've got our
And
trusty
some
syrup as well.
corn syrup filled sweetness. Lovely.
And we've got this as well, this is the apple cider, which I was
Yeah.
hearing about from Josh and Ashley, and it is a just juice, so really excited to try that on my journey. Also, some lemonade. that's
Lemonade!
pink.
I love lemonade. The
Raspberry
lemonade we have in
lemonade.
England has bubbles in it, so it's nice to have the flat one.
Big old bag of chips,
Huge!
but you need to have something with it to dip, and that's very nice looking guacamole.
Nice, no mess. The convenience in the supermarkets here is unreal.
And the same with this as well.
Yeah, pre-chopped salsa.
The dogs. So Emma has got herself some veggie dogs, and what I remembered from the last time I was in the States, dogs are gross. So I've paid more money for some brats, which I will
Nice.
have a much nicer tasting dog, hopefully by a fire. The rest of the stuff isn't that interesting, like cereal, coffee, yogurt, but hopefully we'll get to try a lot more interesting and American snacks along the way.
I am ready to go. That's right, guys. Emma is driving today.
If we ever have a big vehicle, Emma has to drive because I have a huge fear of driving big vehicles, which stems from my time when I worked for Avis in Cairns in Australia, and on my first day they told me to go and pick up from around the corner this 2-ton truck, which I'd never driven. Apparently it's the biggest thing you can drive without having a license, and I got in the car and I pulled out like if I was in a small car. So I just basically pulled and turned straight away instead of taking into account that it's a really long vehicle, and I scratched and scraped alongside a big coach that was parked next to it and took off like a quarter of the coach. And that was my first day, and ever since then I am absolutely petrified of driving anything big.
But we are in America, which is famous for having very big, wide, open roads. So hopefully Al can get in the driver's seat tomorrow, pluck up the courage to do it.
But while we're in a city, I'm having none of it. How is it?
Oh, it's a little intimidating because there's so many lanes and nobody's indicating. People just change lanes willy-nilly.
But at least the lanes are pretty big themselves.
That's true. Like, I can fit comfortably inside a lane. I feel like in England I'd be crossing over into the other lanes right now. So that's nice. I'm being the annoying slow driver on the road, and I'm perfectly okay with that.
Also, LA has got a lot of traffic, so it's not the most fun place to drive in.
No, I'm looking forward to getting out of the city and into the countryside for sure.
There is a life I lead in this city, hurrying to cut my teeth. I can take what I need to get by, it doesn't make it easy. The other piece of my heart moves slow, somewhere in the great unknown. When I return from the afterglow, will you carry me like I am?
On the surface, staying in a Walmart car park may seem a little bit trashy and not really your idea of staying in the open road of the USA, but actually Walmarts are a really great place to park up. A, because they accept you, they're not annoyed at you parking in the car parks. B, you have access to things like toilets and sinks inside, which is very helpful. And also you can stock up on supplies, which is necessary when you're in an RV, because things like the sink and the toilet, you have to actually use special chemicals to break everything down, and you can buy those from the Walmart. They have a whole RV section at the back. They also have RV toilet paper, which breaks down much better than regular toilet paper.
But more importantly, what do they have?
American flags.
You can't have a road trip without flags.
And for like $1.50 you get 4 of them, which we can just sprinkle around the RV. I'm very excited. As we were driving down to this random desert town yesterday, we saw so many American flags hanging out of cars. So I feel like we're really getting into the culture here.
We're about an hour and a half away from Death Valley, which will be our first stop on this trip. It is getting hotter and hotter already though.
Yeah.
It's like not even 9 o'clock and it's pretty boiling. spoiling.
So this is going to be our first national park of this road trip. We're hoping to be able to hit up quite a few of them in the next couple of weeks, so stick around. If you haven't already hit the notification bell, make sure you do that so you're notified of all of these videos coming soon. Make sure you subscribe and make sure you hit that like button, please. We always like to see the likes.
Leave in the comments, have you ever slept in an RV or in a camper van?
And let us know any van life or RV tips that you guys have as well in the comments down below.
Okay, thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next time, and beans out!
Next time on Travel Beans. The people that believe the moon landing was fake, I get it now.
It was filmed here.
I've never seen a landscape that looked more like I would imagine like Mars or the moon to look like. It's just so vast.